Yeah, hello everyone. I have the honor to present you our MHP approach to the Web3 together with my colleague Katarina. And yeah, when we started to ask ourselves how can we bring together the love brand approach and Web3, the big question is what is a love brand and why is it important to focus on that, and what can Web3 do for love brands in the future. So, starting in the very beginning, welcome to the experience age. This is, for most of you, nothing new, but it has a change in mindset when talking about brand management. So the last 20 years, we were focused on information and technology and how can we use new technologies and data for getting better in brand experiences. So, and swapping over to the experience age, where everything is an experience, the question is, how can I create the best experiences and what does me help to do that? So, and as simple as that, the answer is it's all about storytelling. So nothing new as well. It's 70,000 years old. People are telling stories, and maybe everything in life is a story. So in an age where everything is an experience and everyone is creating experiences, the big question is, how can I tell the best stories so that I'm relevant for my customers, relevant for the audience, and how can I attract people to buy my services or products? And I take the words from Brené Brown, 2011, quite old, but the words are, I think, very good, because maybe stories are just data with a soul. That means we're combining the information technology with storytelling. And that is exactly where we approach love brands and Web3 together. So what is a love brand and what are the dimensions when we try to focus building up love brands and to attract people more than our competitors do? So there are 4 dimensions for us that make love brands. It's the mystery, it's fascinating storytelling, it's the magic behind a brand, and it's the mindset change that we don't sell products or services, we are selling relations, we are selling stories, we are selling a kind of a magic. It's about sensuality, meaning the design of products or the design of services or the design of applications or whatever needs to be really good to really attract people. And we have the perceived superiority, so that means that you as a brand need to get the feeling across that you are better than the competitor. And when you do so, you're coming up to the intimacy. And that is my part from customer experience, meaning you need to really build strong connections with your customers to really attract them and to really focus them on the brand. And if you do all these things right, then your customers will not ask if the price of your product or service is wrong or right. They even don't ask if there's a competition. So, I mean, everyone who has an iPhone still will buy an iPhone. Apple is, for sure, a love brand. And some of our clients are focusing that as well. So these are the principles of a love brand, and we brought them together in a simple customer experience ecosystem. So what you see here is our simplified approach to customer experience ecosystems. So in the center, you have the customer with the data platforms surrounded by data analytics and data preparation. And on the outer skirt, you have the channels, touch points, and interactions and the customer journey. So it's a very simple system running in circles. So you have the see, think, do, and care, or as we know it right now, or name it right now, see, think, do, love phases, where everything happens in the customer experience. So what does it mean for being a love brand and for preparing the best and winning customer experience systems for love brands? We created a love brand compass. So you can see that the reality and experiences in the future will be, how can I combine physical touch points with digital touch points? So most of you are focusing on the digital parts, and this is not the exhibition to talk about physical experiences, but the world is both. It's physical and it's digital. And the question is, how can I combine these touch points in the best way together to address the needs of the customers in every phase of a customer experience? So they are coming, sometimes they need rational arguments to buy your products. Sometimes they need emotional attractions. Sometimes they need to talk to real people, and sometimes it's okay when they talk to a chatbot or when they just approach your website. So combining all these touch points and combining physical and digital touch points, we created another picture, and we called it the game of total sales. So for everyone who's a football fan, they mostly know the tactic of total football. Invented in the Netherlands, still played by Pep Guardiola in a different way, but still the same system. What does this system is all about? It says that every player on the game, on the field, has to be able, physical able and tactical able to play any position. So if you're in the offense, you might go to defense in just a second. You might play on the right side, you might play on the left side, so you need to be able to play every role on the field. And that is what we swapped over to our customer experience approach, and maybe to Web3 then as well. So in a perfect system where touch points are physical and digital both together, you have to address every touch point, or you have to create every touch point that it's able to swap over tactically, physically, to the needs of the customer. And here we come to the Web3 approach, because Web3, in our opinion, is exactly that. A touch point which is able to really play the total sales game. Katarina.
Thank you, Timo, for the great introduction. Yeah, in order to enhance our customer experience, we believe in the need of an open and transparent data sharing system. And what could be the best fit than blockchain technology as a distributed ledger technology? As most of you know, blockchain technology has the principle that not just one central authority is keeping the data records, but there is a network which creates consensus on the proof of authenticity. And we see especially three major characteristics that will boost the relationship between our brands and our customers. First of all, the proof of authenticity. Brands can use the blockchain to certify relevant critical product data, such as sustainability data, to increase the trust to their customers. Second, the use of digital identity, self-manageable identities, meaning users can own their own private data and just share it with their consent. And third, there is the principle of digital values. Digital ownership is a totally new thing with blockchain enabled, and with this ownership we can create more trust, especially for customers who are concerned in digital interactions. With this technology, we have entered the next internet evolution, and that sounds maybe at a glance a bit futuristic, but in the end, if we compare the current development of the applications, the current development of the users, then we see that it's quite similar to what we've seen in the 1990s with the static websites and the 2000s with the social networks. But the main important thing here is the difference that we create digital ownership, digital values, which can be portable from one platform to another one. So how would this now affect our customer engagement? If we have a look on today's Web 2, we see that the customer journeys are quite linear. We have a lot of touch points which have just one functionality and which are focusing on the do. So brands would like to bring their customers or potential customers to the purchase decision, ideally on their own platform, since they want to track as relevant customer data as possible. So customer knowledge is today based on user profiles, demographics, statistics, or also cookies. And we ask ourselves whether this is really a future-proof approach, since, for example, 40% of internet users are using ad blockers, or most people click on the cookie reject button like I do. So we believe that we have today a knowledge lack of our customer knowledge. And we believe that blockchain is able to close these gaps, since our knowledge of customer is based on interactions. So it's not based on private data anymore, but it's based on the transparent interactions in our networks. And in this case, we see brands which are using this blockchain network in order to democratize their customers. They use it to provide them digital ownership, like digital collectibles. They use it in order to give them the chance to have a proof of attendance, like with tokens. They use the Web3 in order to let their customers participate in the voting or co-creation. And we see that there is a major shift between Web 2 to Web 3, since in Web 2 we had a focus on the product. We had a really closed environment where we can get data. And now this will open up, and brands will focus more or less on the open community. They do not need to be customer at the moment. They can be also super fans. They create a lifestyle about their brand. And this is exactly the shift we see, which is also used by brands at the moment. If we have a look on the top 25 luxury brands, we see that already 80% explored the Web3. And the magic with the transparent on the data knowledge is happening because blockchain is dissolving borders. It's dissolving knowledge borders, but also the borders between brands and the brand and the customer. And now you might ask yourself, what had this to do with the customer experience and the love brand topic? So as we heard at the beginning, it's all about storytelling. And what stories do we as customers like most? The stories which are creative. Stories where we can participate. Stories where we can also decide what the end will be and what's happening. And that's why we believe that brands should use a Web3 or blockchain network in order to let the customer participate in the love brand story. Thank you so much for the attention. If you're interested in a deep dive, we're happy to welcome you on the other stage, since we will talk about what's relevant in order to realize Web3 applications. Thank you.